Hello, so this video is going to be my history book reviews. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 history books and I'm going to review them for you. And as usual, all the books that I mentioned will be in the description bar below, so let's get straight into it. So the first book that I want to review for you is Bad History, How We Got the Past Wrong by Emma Marriott. I requested it from the publisher, which is Michael O'Mara Books, so thank you very much for sending it to me. This book is about history of history, basically. It's about myths that surround history and things that we might think are myth. Are there some truthful elements into them? You get the gist. So the first little section is the American Old West was a wild and dangerous place to be, so then she discusses that. Then the next section she goes and discusses Henry V, the greatest man that ever ruled England, etc, etc. So this book isn't about British history, it's about world history and the myths that surround these. The chapters in this book are very short, they're very concise and very much to the point, and because it's world history you do get that flavour of various aspects and eras of history that you might not think that you enjoyed but actually you do. One thing that I did love about this book were the pictures. In fact, this one was my favourite and it's under the section Roman gladiators fought to the death. It says Lions 3, Christians 0. So from reading this book, this has definitely got me interested in other areas of history. I want to go and learn more about the French Revolution, Auschwitz and the Romans, which are definitely sparse but areas in which I don't really read about very often. So this book I would highly recommend for anyone who's new to history and just getting into it for the first time, you don't really know where to go to, but also this is great for people like me who sometimes with their history books get a little bit stuck reading the same old thing, and it's good to shake it up every now and then. So Bad History. So the next book that I want to discuss with you, Henry VIII's Last Love, The Extraordinary Life of Catherine Willoughby, Lady-in-Waiting to Tudors by David Baldwin. This book had sat on my wish list for an awfully long time before I decided to bite the bullet and just get a copy for myself. So this book tells the story of Catherine Willoughby. If you don't know who she was married to Charles Brandon, who was Henry VIII's best friend, and also for a time his brother-in-law, because Charles, before marrying Catherine, was married to Mary Tudor, Henry VIII's sister. Now this is a full-length biography of Catherine's life. Catherine's life was definitely a roller coaster. I really enjoyed reading about her earlier life, so her marriage to Charles Brandon, which she got married when she was very young, and of course her slight liaison with Henry VIII. This is really interesting to learn about, and I think this is great for anyone who is a fan of the Tudor period but also a fan of women's history and you want to learn about an individual woman of that period. And finally, last but certainly not least, I have The Private Lives of the Tudors, Uncovering the Secrets of Britain's Greatest Dynasty by Tracy Borman. This book attracted me when I went to Waterstones. Waterstones are a very dangerous place because as soon as you walk in they've got the tables laid out, buy one get one half price, and this was just staring at me and so I had to go and get it. But it's an absolutely beautiful book and I think this would make a great present for someone. So what this book does is it talks about the Tudor monarchs, so we start with Henry VII and we go all the way through to Elizabeth I, like a normal book on the Tudor monarchs. But this is very different because this is about all the nitty-gritty bits of their life. So as it says on the back, what did Henry VIII eat for dinner? How did Elizabeth I clean her teeth, etc, etc. It's as if Tracy Borman has got all this wealth of knowledge and information about the intimacies of the Tudors and doesn't really know what to do with it, so she's done a whole book on it and it's brilliant. If this was done in a bullet point format it'd be quite boring, but Tracy Borman turns it into a story. Talks about things like Henry VII and his marriage, talks about Henry VIII and the fact that he got so big and fat and what he was eating. We talk about Elizabeth I and her very famous wardrobe. There's so many things in here that are absolutely fascinating. I loved reading this book. I felt even closer to these people after reading it, even though I've read about them for years and years. Reading this book made me feel so close to them because it's all their intimate things that you never read about in the usual books on these monarchs. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars because I thought it was just amazing. It was brilliant. I loved it so much, and I also think that this is a better book when you reread it because of what it is. It's just it's just a book on intimacy and it's all the little things about their daily life. Each time you read it you're going to take more in because of course you're not going to remember all of this knowledge in one sitting, so I think the next time that you read it it's going to be even better. I think this book is perfect for people who are lovers of the Tudors, so if you already know about the Tudors, then this is a great place to go to. If you don't know about the Tudors, maybe read this if it does tickle your fancy. Go and learn them a bit more and then come back to this and you'll really appreciate it and you'll feel so close to them, like you're in the room with them. So there we go, those are my history book reviews. So all 3 of these books I will be linking in the description bar below if you want to go and get your hands on any of them. Let me know in the comments section if you have any of these, or if you don't, are any of them sat on your wish list now. So take care everybody, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Bye!